From the village greens to global stage, dive into the thrilling world of cricket. But you're thinking, cricket? That game that takes like 5 days and still somehow ends in a draw? But hold on, cricket is so much more than that. It's a sport with a rich history, passionate fans, and unforgettable moments of brilliance, drama, and yes, even the occasional mishap. In this video, explore the history of cricket, its global impact, and some of the most iconic moments that have left fans on the edge of their seats.
So where did this whole cricket thing even begin? It's a question that has intrigued many sports enthusiasts and historians alike. Well, like most things British, it probably started in a pub. Just kidding. But there's a grain of truth in that jest. But seriously, the origins of cricket can be traced back to the misty fields of England, sometime in the 16th century. It was a time when the game was far from the sophisticated sport we know today. Back then, it was a simple game played by shepherds, using a sheep's fleece as a ball and a stick as a bat. Imagine the simplicity and the raw joy of playing with whatever was available. And you thought modern cricket was hard to understand. The game back then was rudimentary, but it laid the foundation for something much bigger. Over time, cricket evolved from a leisurely pastime into a more organized sport, with proper rules and regulations. This transformation was crucial in shaping the game into a structured competition. By the 18th century, it had become a national obsession in England, with matches drawing huge crowds and sparking fierce rivalries. The sport was no longer just a game, it was a cultural phenomenon. Imagine the excitement of a football game, but with more tea and cucumber sandwiches. The traditions surrounding cricket matches added a unique charm to the sport. One of the earliest recorded cricket matches took place in 1709, and by the late 1700s, the first official laws of cricket were established. These laws provided a framework that would guide the sport for centuries to come. The game continued to evolve with innovations like the development of the six-seam cricket ball, which, let me tell you, made things much more interesting for both the batsmen and the bowlers. This innovation added a new dimension to the game. Speaking of bowlers, the 19th century saw the emergence of different bowling styles, adding another layer of strategy and skill to the game. These new techniques challenged players to adapt and innovate. It was like figuring out how to throw a curveball, but with a lot more elegance and a side of afternoon tea, of course. The evolution of bowling styles was a testament to the sport's growing complexity and sophistication. Now, how did cricket go from a local English pastime to a global phenomenon? It's a fascinating journey that spans centuries and continents. Well, you can thank the British Empire for that. Their vast reach and influence played a pivotal role in spreading the game far and wide. As they say, the sun never sets on the British Empire, probably because they were too busy playing cricket to notice. The game became a symbol of British culture and was eagerly adopted wherever the empire's flag was planted. As the British Empire expanded, so did the game of cricket. It was introduced to new lands and quickly became a favorite pastime. Sailors, soldiers, and traders all carried their love for the game to far-flung corners of the globe. They played matches in ports, garrisons, and trading posts, spreading the cricketing gospel. It was like the world's most polite invasion, only instead of conquering land, they conquered hearts with wickets and boundaries. The game became a bridge between cultures, a common language spoken through sport. Soon, cricket took root in countries like India, Australia, the West Indies, and South Africa, each nation adding its own unique flavor and style to the game. In India, cricket became almost a religion, while in Australia, it was played with a fierce competitive spirit. Imagine a world before the internet, where the only way to experience different cultures was through sport. Cricket served as a window to the world, allowing people to connect and understand each other better. Cricket was a cultural ambassador, bringing people together through a shared love of the game. It transcended boundaries and united people from different backgrounds. And let me tell you, these former colonies didn't just embrace cricket, they owned it. They developed their own cricketing legends and styles, making significant contributions to the sport. They produced some of the greatest players the world has ever seen, turning the sport into a truly global spectacle. The passion and skill displayed on the field captivated audiences everywhere. From the legendary Sir Bradman of Australia, whose batting average still boggles the mind, to the West Indies firebrand fast bowlers who could make the bravest batsmen tremble, cricket became a melting pot of talent and tradition. The game evolved, but its essence remained the same. a beautiful blend of strategy, skill, and sportsmanship. Now, let's talk about the countries where cricket is practically a religion. First up, we have India, a nation so cricket-mad that it makes Beatlemania look like a library study group. In India, cricket is more than just a game. It's an emotion, a way of life. Streets empty out during important matches, and the roar of the crowd when India hits a six is enough to shake the foundations of the stadium. Next, we have Australia, a country that takes its sport as seriously as it takes its barbecues. Australians have a long and storied history with cricket, and they've produced some of the most dominant teams and legendary players the game has ever seen. From the Ashes, their epic rivalry with England, to their string of World Cup victories, Australia has cemented its place as a cricketing superpower. And let's not forget about the West Indies, a collection of islands with a passion for cricket that's as hot as their jerk chicken. The West Indies team is known for its flamboyant style, explosive batting, and fearsome fast bowling. They've produced some of the most entertaining and iconic players in cricket history, and their contribution to the sport is immeasurable. Now, for those of you who might be new to the game, let's break down what cricket is all about. Cricket is a sport that has captured the hearts of millions around the world. Imagine a game of baseball, but instead of running around bases, you have two batsmen defending wickets, which are like little wooden castles. These wickets are crucial to the game. The bowler tries to knock down the wickets with the ball, and the batsman tries to hit the ball and score runs. Sounds simple enough, right? But there's a lot more to it. Well, hold on to your hats because it gets a lot more complicated. Cricket has a rich history and a variety of formats. There are different formats of the game, from the fast-paced 20-20 matches that last only a few hours, to the epic test matches that can go on for 5 days. Each format has its own unique charm and challenges. And don't even get me started on the rules, they can be quite intricate. There are LBWs, sixes, no balls, and more appeals than a courtroom drama. Each rule adds a layer of strategy to the game, but that's part of what makes cricket so fascinating. It's not just about physical prowess. It's a game of strategy, skill, and sometimes a little bit of luck. Every decision can change the course of the match. But beyond the rules and regulations, cricket is about so much more than just winning or losing. It's about the journey and the experiences along the way. It's about the spirit of the game, the camaraderie between teammates, and the respect between opponents. These relationships often last a lifetime. It's about those moments of brilliance, like a perfectly timed shot that sends the ball soaring over the boundary, or a bowler who seems to defy physics with their spin. These moments are what make cricket truly special. Throughout its history, cricket has been graced by some truly legendary players, individuals who've transcended the sport and become global icons. From the legendary Sir Donald Bradman, whose batting average of 99.94 remains an untouchable record, to Sachin Tendulkar, the god of cricket who inspired a nation with his elegant stroke play, these players have left an indelible mark on the sport. Then there's Sir Garfield Sobers, the West Indian all-rounder who could bat, bowl, and field with equal brilliance. A true once-in-a-generation talent. And who could forget Shane Warne, the Australian leg spinner who bamboozled batsmen with his magical deliveries, proving that cricket is as much about guile and deception as it is about raw power. These legends of cricket weren't just great players, they were ambassadors for the sport, inspiring generations of young boys and girls to pick up a bat and ball and dream of emulating their heroes. They showed the world that cricket is a game for everyone, regardless of background, race, or religion. Now let's relive some of the most unforgettable moments in cricket history, moments that left fans cheering, crying, and everything in between. Who could forget India's miraculous victory in the 1983 World Cup, a triumph that defied all odds and ignited a nation's passion for the sport? Or Australia's unbeaten run in the 2000s, a period of dominance that saw them conquer all comers with ruthless efficiency. And then there are those individual moments of brilliance, like Javed Miandad's last ball six to win the match against India, a shot that's etched in cricketing folklore. Or Herschel Gibbs' audacious 6 and out in the 1999 World Cup, a moment that perfectly encapsulates the highs and lows of this unpredictable sport. But cricket isn't just about the glorious victories, it's also about the heartbreaking defeats, the controversial decisions, and yes, even the occasional comical mishap. Like that time a dog ran onto the field and made off with the ball, or when a batsman got out hit wicket after his helmet fell onto the stumps. It's these moments, both big and small, that make cricket the captivating sport it is. From dramatic finishes to heart-stopping accidents, cricket has it all. Thanks for watching our journey through the history of this incredible sport. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more amazing content. We had a look at some of the biggest moments, but we know there are so many more out there. Let us know in the comments below what your favorite cricket moments are. And who knows, we might just feature them in our next video.